Hey, what's up, gamers? Baby Smooth here today with a special treat. This is my last video with broken glasses ever. The new ones are ready to pick up. But anyway, we are going to be going through every ST set ever made except for the Halloween ones because those are just reskins. And we're going to rate them from a scale of 6. All right. Buns, Kaka, and Dookie. Letting you know which ST sets you should grind for. Anyway, let's get into it. Starting with the vampire guy. So the vampire rogue set, the coolest shit about this is the scythe fires cool shots when you have the whole set, and you get to fly around as a bat. Immediately to me, that puts this aesthetically at an alright. Because you fly around as a bat when you're not shooting. That's kind of sick. Now, the set's usability, it's not there. First of all, it's gear for a rogue. Arguably one of the worst classes in the game right now for group play. But if you want to just like live out your fantasy and go be a bat, go do that. Just don't bring it in my dungeon. Next is the pirate warrior. Now this shit is like, I think this is the baseline for what an ST set should be. The fantasy is there. The damage is okay. The survivability is okay. Everything just works okay. And I think that should be how it is. You're playing dress up, you're playing in a costume. It feels cool to hit for high numbers with the whole set, and you get to be a pirate and swab the poop deck. Therefore, it gets put in the buns, which is the baseline category. You know what? This is now based. This is now the based category. I'm gonna end up putting this Kensei in the base category as well. Look, it's for a Kensei, which is a red flag, right? That class is unplayable. But this one makes tornadoes, and it has a really nice healing effect when you inevitably dash into something and get fucked in the ass. Therefore, it's going to get stuck in the base category. It's good. The healing effect keeps you alive longer than any other Kensei would. Up next is going to be our first Dookie category. Now, this was made in a time where, like, nothing else like this existed. This is one of the first ST sets to be out there, I believe. And it shows. It's dated. And it's not great. Now, the stats are kind of interesting. You end up being fast as fuck. And the Geb Tome is one of the greatest, like, value items for a priest to have. It's one of the most incredible things in the universe because you're healing and you're speedy at the same time. It's kind of insane. We're gonna put it in Dookie though, because if you see one of these guys, they're probably clowning. If you ever see a Geb ring, someone's probably clowning or a sorcerer. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next, which is the Magma Mystic. Now, the Magma Mystic, Mrs. Magma Mystic, would be like in the base tier due to her orb alone. Like, Mystic is a class that's not exactly fun without cool orbs, and this orb is a shotgun blast, and that's pretty cool. But the problem lies in the fact that the staff is incredibly unusable. Now, you also do get a decent amount of speed from the set, but I'm just gonna put this in Dookie tier because the staff is so poop. Like, nobody's gonna use this. Next up, based off aesthetics alone, this should be in the Dookie tier. I don't think anybody wants this. Does anybody want this? Anybody want to run around like this? I don't. It's the Bride of Frankenstein, right? But it just looks weird. I always hated the Bride of Frankenstein and her weird afro. Anyway, aesthetics aside, I don't think this set's very good. I think the ability's pretty lame. I think the weapon itself is hard to use. I'm gonna put it in, like, also Dookie tier. I don't know. It's just, I don't want to be using this. It's also for Huntress, which doesn't help. If you're going to design sets for like one of the worst classes in the game, try to make it like a super cool set. Otherwise, it's just going to be unused forever. This preset. The wand is pretty alright to based. The ability, pretty alright to based. Robe, almost sex tier. The robe is one of the best DPS robes in the game. The ring, altogether the set, it's not bad. I'm gonna give it an alright. I'm gonna put it above the rogue for alright because the rogue shouldn't be alright. It should be based anyway. Sorry. We're setting the rogue to base just because it's like cool to look at. Now, the Huntress set. This is one of the like few examples of a Huntress that's like usable. It's good. You get the healing effect, you get the damage boost effect because nobody plays paladins in 2022. You do good damage. You go burr, you fly around, you're cute. It's alright. That's an alright set. This set, it has some incredible pieces, but when it all comes together, you can't see anything. It's a great idea, but a terrible playability. If you bring this into the shatters, you're not going to see anything. You're going to get steamrolled by every shot. You're just going to get hit by everything. Your visibility goes out the window. There may be settings to reduce that impact, but I haven't found them. I haven't looked either, but I haven't found them. Next is this guy. This guy's the Earthen Summoner. It's pretty fucking cool. The wand is really cool. It's a tanky set. You can run around Godlands and just go burr. I'm gonna give this an alright. It looks like shit. Like, actually, literally, it looks like shit. But it's cool to use. Now, when you use dyes on this, it actually looks even worse. The head never changes colors. It's very odd. But it's a good set. It's alright. This set, this is basically... Absolutely, it has to be all right, and we'll have to put it above this. We'll put this where he belongs. This is pretty good. I think everybody agrees the damage is decent. The class fantasy is good. The bard that heals people, that's cool. It's just solid. The harp is good. The place that you get it from is a good dungeon. It's almost sex tier, but it's not. But it could be. Maybe it should be, because looking at these, I don't know what else would be sex tier. Sex tier! But low sex tier. Like, sex with your stepsister. Very low. The lowest of the low. To some of you sickos, that would be high sex tier, but stop. Stop it. Stop that. Shame on you. This set, cool class fantasy. I feel like the art is pretty lacking compared to all these. I feel like it's missing pixels. Can we be real? Look at the definition on everything else, and then you just get guy in a hat with no eyeball. Like, look at this compared to everything. Ew. Look at this compared to the other samurai. Can we get some more pixels? Something about this feels so unfinished. Anyway, the weapon's good. The sheath is decent to use. We're still putting it Kaka, though, for the aesthetic. It's a good class fantasy. The Ronin, the Wakizashi man, but, like, bad execution, bad art. Papa John's. Next up, we pay a visit. Okay, what's happening? We pay a visit to this guy. Now, this looks incredible, but this plays terribly. It plays so bad, and the place you get it is so scuffed, and it never drops. And they moved the fucking Tene to the final boss of the dungeon because everybody just wanted to go do the first boss to get a chance to get Tene and then leave. I don't like this. but I want to. I have the whole set and it looks really cool. Even the aesthetic of firing the set looks cool. But it's just not. And it doesn't do well. It's going to Kaka. I wish it was higher, but it's not. But I really like how it looks. Now this set, absolutely based. This shit's fun. Have you ever run around as this guy? You go burr. When you use your ability, you turn into a little animal. Like if you had stepped in the green water in a Mad Lab. This shit's awesome. You shoot slow, but it's big, hard bullets. And you look crazy cool when you use dies. I feel like I'm a monster from Pacific Rim. I feel like it fulfills the class fantasy. I'm actually, because of how well put together the set is, you're just a fast, hard-hitting monstrosity. I'm putting it in sex tier. It's not good, but it's fun. I feel like that's what STs should be. They feel fun. It's sex tier. This guy, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know too much about this guy. I know he looks kind of cool. I know his seal is seen as really good now. His armor has that fun effect. You know what? It sure sounds like this guy's fun. I'm saying fun a lot with him. It sounds like he's pretty fun to me. So we'll go ahead and put him... His sword kind of sucks. He'll be an alright for now. We might move him later. Now this guy, the OG Mudbone, the OG of like pretty cool shit. If you had this set, you were pretty cool. With every piece dropping from O2, you're bound to get this set after a while. You will get this set eventually. Everybody has played as this guy. Everybody knows what he's like. Pretty cool. He's at least in based. But honestly, the gear, the separate pieces, if you're using like the 3-piece of this set without the ring, I believe, you are actually doing decent damage. Or maybe it's without the shield. Anyway, the 3-piece bonus of this is solid. For that reason, he's going in all right. And he's going to stay there. The slime guy. The Slurpy slime. I think when you think of Wizard ST sets, if you think of a slimy sea snail, you're weird. Nobody asked to be a slimy sea snail that moves really fast when he uses his ability, but I like it. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna give him based. It's a interesting class fantasy, and you move really fast. It's helpful for like O3 when you're just running away. I like it. The spell's a decent swap out in comparison to Snake Eye Ring. Not that anybody ever should do that. But if you just want to go burr, you want to run real fast, pretty good. I kind of like Trident as well. It's an interesting stuff. The Rabbit guy. The Rabbit guy, I actually haven't got to try out much myself either. Making it one of the few of these sets that I've never actually used. Actually, I have used it. Did I love it? No, but is the wand really cool? Yeah. It makes me want to put it in based. The wand, I believe, was the first weapon that would return to you in boomerang shots. I'm gonna go ahead and give it that based after all. I like the idea of being the rabbit in the hat. What if you're a magician and you pull a rabbit out of the hat, but then it turns out the rabbit is you? On that note, it's based. This guy. This looks fucking stupid. I don't know why we're in tier 3 and we're designing things that are dumb. And the bleed effect, that shit didn't really work. I don't like it. I'm sorry if you're the guy that made it and you're watching this. Like, I get it. You're going for the Kill Billy. That's a funny name. But it's just fucking stupid. And I'm sorry. You look more like a lumberjack. If you named this the Lumberjack Warrior instead of the Kill Billy, the Burlap Lumberjack, nobody would fucking bat an eye. You look like the fucking guy from Risk of Rain 2. What is this? What are those? Stop it. I don't like that. Go cut a tree. Go chop an ancient. On that note, the 3-piece of the set is powerful, but is that enough to save it from Dookie tier? Yes, it goes to Kaka. Because the items are powerful, the bleed effect is failed. It's going to Dookie. The bleed effect was a failed implementation. I don't think the numbers were there for it. But using the set without the weapon is powerful. But look at this fucking dude. I don't like the way it looks. This guy looks cool. And he's a trickster. And he pisses people off with his golem. If you ever see this guy running around in your Dama, Nexus, run away. It's gonna be rough. I'm gonna put this in based. It's kind of funny. That's about it, honestly. I wish it was different, right? When you finally gather all of an ST set and you begin playing it, and it just feels eh. Which is honestly how I feel about most of them. Once you finally complete the set, it just, you go, eh. You're like empty inside a little bit. Anyway, it's in based. This set, at the very least, it's based. But it's absolutely alright with me. It takes Trickster and it changes things up. More so than this does, right? This is still mostly about decoying, which is fine. It gives you a new way to decoy, and it's a very useful ability, the Golem Garms. But this one, it does damage, and there's lots of blue shit flashing around when you use it, and you have fucking angel wings. That's like, dude, I hate to do it, but it's going into sex tier. It's like there's thought that went into the set. There's design. It looks cool. It's fun to use. It's very aesthetically pleasing. There's cool effects on your sword, on your weapons, on your dagger. It shoots fire. There's a lot of different cool effects. And it's not just things to read, because there are a lot of things to read, but it's cool things to read. It's things that actually do things instead of things to read that just do numbers. It's things that you can see, but you can still see what you're hitting. A good set. Does it deserve sex tier? Yes. It's above all the alrights. It's not the most usable set, but it's interesting. The dagger is like nothing in the game. It's like a pixie, but it lingers. There's no dagger that's like that. It's good. When you introduce an ST set that has abilities that's too familiar to the game, it's bad. Which brings us to the froggy guy. I'm jumping the line on that note. The froggy guy... what do we say about the froggy guy? He's cool, kind of. It answers the question of what happens when you take an assassin's poison and put it in the dagger slot. A question nobody wanted to know the answer to, but we fucked around and we found out anyway. I like frogs. I like the way it looks. I don't exactly like the way it plays, but can we just give it sex tier because you're shooting a frog? The frog goes bleh, bleh, bleh. It's cute. It's fun. Kind of. It's not really fun, but it's cute. Sex tier. Suck my dick. Next up is this guy. Now, this guy runs fast. He's got the budget conflict, the Walmart conflict orb. His robe is pretty good. It's not a terribly unusable set. It's not terribly usable either. It's got to be at least based. It's going to be low based. That's, you know, you can just trade for it if you want to check this one out. It's not too bad. This one, I feel like it's caught lacking. Like, look at this. It's like almost cool looking, but it's not. I never liked the aesthetic. Like, almost. I'm giving it Kaka. I know Memento Mori exists. I know the staff is somewhat interesting. It's one of the first shotgun staffs. Not talking about EP, talking about just bursty, like the Trident. That's about all there is about it. Memento's good. Everything else, eh. This guy. Look at this dude. When you think of a dragon slayer and a dragon slaying warrior, that's a good class fantasy. Is this reflective of that fantasy? No. This looks fucking stupid. This is like that Halloween costume your mom bought you, but you really want it to be Iron Man or Optimus Prime, but she comes home with the Great Value Mart Ninja. It's like almost trying to be Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero mixed with Scorpion, but it's neither, and it's like a samurai from the past, future. You know what? I'm sorry. What did I do? What have I done? Oh, I'm in dark mode now. Well, that's pretty based. Anyway, this is going to Dookie tier. I thought I undid everything. You're going to fucking Dookie tier. You look stupid. Look at this dude. It looks dumb. I'm sorry. Ooh. You know what's next, fellas? Perhaps the most sex ST set in the game. Don't believe me? Just look at it. Look at that. When you put dyes on this, it looks incredible. Playing it, it feels like it's not a ninja, which is accomplishing the ST's purpose. To make it feel different. To make you feel cool, to look cool, to just be different. This is a wonderful ST set, and I wish more things would take its design choice. You have 1200 health, I believe. That's very something. You're trading health for defense. It's almost like thought was put into the set. And you get cool shit. What happens when you put thought and design and just aesthetics and awesome shit into a set? And it's also reflective of where it drops from. This should be the principle. If you are going to put paid content in your game and it's losable, it should at very least be nearly as cool as this ninja. It should strive to be this. This might be the most sex tier of all ST sets. Unironically. Fight me about it. I don't give a fuck. Shit's cool. Good job, whoever made this. This is a B. So it's in B tier. Just kidding. Looks like she has something on her head. Okay. The bow got a buff. Does that mean this is a good set? No. It's reflective of the dungeon it drops from, but it's a Huntress set that does nothing new. The trap is a Huntress trap. It just stays there a little bit. We see that everywhere. It slows. Wow. Now, you kind of summon bees with the bow now, which is straight from Terraria, which is kind of cool. But there's no way this one's escaping from base tier. We'll put it above that. Like, it's alright. But it's not alright. Alright, next up is this for Bard. Now this adds a cool lightning bolt to Bard, which is pretty cool and would probably make it alright tier. But can I just ask something? Who the fuck thinks this is cool looking? Who made this? Who allowed this to be made? What the fuck am I looking at? This is actually so stupid. It pisses me off. This thing pisses me off. Not really. I'm not actually angry. But I like Bard. I wish this was cooler. When you have a big lightning bolt ability, it demands coolness. You are Hailstorm, you are Electric. I don't feel like that's reflected in this stupid character. What if instead you are part Ice and part Lightning Bolt, and you had fucking actual character design? No? You just want to be this guy in like a turban? Alright, carry on. This is fucking absolute dookie. I don't know, I feel like this was produced in a time where they were just shitting out ST sets. Mass producing ST sets, get them done, get that season 2 over. I feel like it was an obligatory set, and it shows. It's redeemable if it becomes cool, but shit, absolute terrible design. This, it's a breath of fresh air. When season 3 came out and released the Kill Billy and the fucking Bride of Frankenstein, I was worried. I was like, oh man, this shit's gonna suck. This thing has the coolest Necro Skull in the game. It looks awesome. It looks really fucking cool. This is an easy sex tier for me. Good design. Good fantasy. Good ability. Decent stats. Decent staff. The stats are actually really good. If you want the highest damage in the game, you're going to end up using either the 2 or 3 piece of this set. You're going to go Burr. Necromancer needed a little pep in its step. This does that job pretty well. Next up is this. This is one of the earliest sets in the game. This is what... you know what pisses me off? This is the Kill Billy. To me, like, Kill Billy already exists, and it's this. You're a butcher. It's the same vibe, kind of. I know it's different, but same vibe to me. I don't like using this, and I don't like looking at it, but it comes together in a cohesive unit. You apply curse to things, which fits its aesthetic. Like, you're gonna butcher things apart. It's almost like if Bleed Effect existed, this would have been the set that was designed for the Bleed Effect instead of this guy. But it did not. So that's interesting to think about. Just gonna put it in Kaka. No. I don't like it. But I like the idea of it. But gonna go in high Dookie. Nah, it's gonna go Kaka because this guy's straight to Dookie. Unusable set. Look, it's season 1. It's understandable that it's shit. It got nerfed. The dagger, at least, because it was the best dagger in the game for such a long time. So there's not much to say about it. It looks better than some of the other season 1s. That's about all I got for it. It's okay. It can be in Dookie. It's all right to be Dookie. Some things have to be in Dookie for others to shine. Think about that. This one, the Cuboid Necro. The staff is cool, innovative even. Everything else, This didn't come out before Summoner, did it? It might have. I think when they developed Summoner, they were like, okay, now put it on a Necro. Necro already had, like, the first summon in the game in the form of the Oryx Skull. And Necromancer in class fantasy usually is something that, like, summons things. We're thinking, like, Diablo and all that. Anyway, the set's cool, and it's interesting, and they needed something for 3D World. I'm gonna give it an alright. It's certainly usable. The damage is good. It's all there. It's actually somewhat impressive damage for an ST set. I don't know. Do you want to be a fucking geometry shape? You like shapes? All right. Next up, the Fairy Paladin. I used to think this was the coolest thing ever when STs first came out. But I, regardless of spending thousands of hours in Candylands, never got a fucking pixie. I've had to see level, blue stars, light blue stars all the time. Level 5 ones. just get pixies and pixies, and they say, "What's this?" And then they die to a cream puff. While I just sit there maulding, waiting for my orange bag. It's fine. This is a set, and that's all I have to say about it. I don't know. I feel like they need to visually update all these. The pixel art has no shading really anymore. Compared to these newer sets, it looks out of place. I do wonder if they'll overhaul the art. I feel like they should. A lot of these sets would benefit, these Season 1 sets, from a little art overhaul. I feel like some of them did receive a little art overhaul. Maybe not. Anyway, let's just put you in Kaka tier because, like, at the end of the day, using it is not bad. Since they changed its application on that fairy seal so it doesn't fucking make you hallucinate, it's like actually somewhat usable, kind of. Kaka. Next up is this one. Now this one is aimed at the beginner samurai set, right? Because you get it from just running around killing those quests. I'm never gonna get this. I'm not out there closing realms that much. I'm busy sitting on the beach with a nice coconut water in my hand. This is a cute set. You know, she's a good waifu. We're gonna put her in based because, you know, the class design comes together. You're a samurai, you're a bit faster, you have some health. It's nice. About it. I mean, it's nice. There you go. This one's pretty cool. You get most of this from ancient ruins, some of it from the treasure cave. It actually looks really fun to use. The ability's fun. It's good, decent survivability. I like this. It's gonna go in the middle of base. This is like a solid, you know, it's based. Next up is this set. This set absolutely gets an alright by me. I believe the weapon was the first thing to linger, the first weapon to linger, which was very cool. When I was learning 03 and I would be even further away than I am now from him, I would like to lay traps. As warriors, I would speed around, put a bunch of these on the ground and hope that he would step on them and feel really cool when he did. Anyway, a knight that has the speed effect and a bunch of health and runs around and goes burr. Pretty good. It has the berserk. I'm actually not sure if it has speed effect, but it is fast. Anyway, good set. This one, it looks fucking stupid. It does. It looks dumb. Why is this slimy guy in a vest? I guess to be like a gentleman slime? I don't know. It once again looks like you're in a spaceship. But I like the idea because it changes assassin into a warrior, which is something nobody asked for. But it's interesting. It adds another melee class to the game. And it throws poisons out when you get damaged. I like the idea. I get damaged a lot. Mentally, emotionally, physically. Thank you, Realm of the Mad God. This is going in alright. This summoner set, so fucking dookie. It's terrible to use. It's terrible to look at. I don't know who made this, but they should be fired unless they already were. That's good if they were. Thanks. Pretty stinky. I don't like it. Do better. It's stupid. Thank you. Interesting idea with the bomb summons, but it's a burst weapon. Stop. Next up is this. This to me feels like their attempt at saving Kensei from being unplayable. Now, should an ST ability be a class's one redeeming thing? No. Granted, UT abilities sometimes are. There's certain classes that only exist because UT abilities exist. But it's somewhat different with an ST. I don't even like that design with the UTs. Anyway, due to it looking decent-ish, it's like just a better Dragon Slayer. And funny enough, it drops from mostly the same dungeon. This is what Dragon Slayer Warriors should have been. And I feel like there's no hiding that. I'm going to put it in alright. Once again, I'm not in love with the idea that playing a Kensei is self-sacrifice unless you use the sheath, the only sheath that does not move you Forward a million when you use it, the only sheet that you're likely to not kill yourself with when you use it. And go over here. This set, when it first came out, was incredibly busted. It was good for speed running shit. It was really cool. It has a good aesthetic. Forgetting about its history, it looks good. It looks cool. You get speedy on an archer. It used to be really fucking good. They nerfed it to the ground in a few different ways. I would love for this to be an alright, because you get what you get. You're a ghostly archer, and you go burr. It's a good thing. When ST sets come together with their abilities and their aesthetics and the place that you get them from, it's cool. It's a beautiful thing. When STs don't make sense, or they're just having unusable weapons, or they just look fucking stupid. It's bad. Anyway, that's all for the video. If you're Deca, I say all this with love. But, look at these, ask yourselves what went right, and run with it. Great job on the new ones from Season 3. I really like them. They're incredible. Bad jobs with these ones from Season 3. I don't think many people like them. They're not incredible. Anyway, take this as you will. These are all just my opinions. Let me know in the comments below if I broke your heart or how wrong I am. Sorry, I'm still fucking sick. Anyway, see you next time, guys. This has been a Bobo Smooth tier video. Expect a little bit more of these. See ya.